guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make homemade choco tacos. They are so good, such a treat, and by no means am I telling you that you need to make these all the time, because let's face it, one of the best parts of summer is a local ice cream truck that comes through your neighborhood, and then you've got me, the 31-year-old at the very front of the line to get my choco taco, and there is no shame in that game. And I hope that you're just like me and take advantage of that, because it's one of the best, it's one of the most simple pleasures in life, and I wanted to make them from scratch because they are relatively easy, and I wanted to share this because for some of you who live outside the United States, I'm not sure if you're able to get these, and I want you to experience that same pleasure. So let me run you through the list of ingredients to make the shell. So all you need is flour and salt, sugar, eggs, sugar, melted butter, milk, and some vanilla extract. If you have watched my original how to make homemade waffle cones, and this is the same recipe and it works perfectly, that's why I like to use it. And you need to make the waffle shell, then you do the chocolate, and then the ice cream, and then the chocolate, and then the nuts. It's just so yum. All right, so what I have here is a waffle cone maker. You don't need one of these. You could do this in a small skillet. I like it because it makes my life a lot easier. If you have the same one I do, which is the chef's choice, make sure that you put it on control number 4. It always helps. All right, so in a large bowl, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the sugar and the eggs, and I'm going to whisk them pretty well. I want this to be a little bit nice and light and pale in color, so a couple of minutes. And let me show you what I have over here. What I have here is 2 9-inch pans, right? And all I've done is I put them side by side, and I laid a couple of wooden spoons, and this is for me to drop my waffle on there to sort of help form its shape. You don't need anything complicated, you don't need any special tool, so this really helps. And I'm just going to continue to whisk these for a couple of minutes, and then we'll move on. That's exactly what you want it to look like. And now you add everything else. You've got your milk, you've got your melted butter, and you've got your flour and salt, and a good splash of vanilla extract. Mine is my homemade vanilla extract, and it's getting right to the bottom, which I'm just going to top it off with some more vodka. But look, it's got all the seeds at the bottom, so you know you're going to get good stuff. All right. Mix, mix, mix. Now you're wondering, why do you have your cell phone next to you? That's because when you go ahead and put these in your waffle maker, you need to make sure that you've got the time right. Now, I've used this waffle maker for a few years, so I kind of know exactly the time that it takes for these to cook. These take exactly 1 minute and 40 seconds. And all you need is a little bit, now remember, this is for this particular waffle cone maker. If you don't have one, just use a small skillet and do it like a crepe, if you will, and it works out just as well. But I really like this method. This is smooth and gorgeous. My waffle maker is ready. And I know that for this, I need a little bit less than a 1/4 cup of batter. Pour that in, cover this up, 1 minute and 40 seconds later, and we will have, I'm going to put my timer on, and then we will have a beautiful, perfect, amazing waffle shell.
In quattro.
So I'm about to put my last one in, and I waited to show you because there's something here that is really important that you do, and if you mess this up, then your shells are going to be really soft and they won't hold their shape, and it's going to be a disaster. So first of all, as I mentioned earlier, it takes up, for this particular waffle cone maker, it takes about 3 tablespoons of batter to make each one. I actually have enough for the next one as well. But here's what's important. You put it in. You must click it. Did you hear that? It must be clicked. What that does is it flattens them as thin as possible. And when you go ahead and cook them and then you put them here to cool on your little rig here, it helps keep their shape and it keeps them nice and crunchy. If you don't hear the click, they won't be really flat and they won't harden, they won't be crunchy. Just like you're making waffle cones, right? You need them to be crunchy to hold their shape. This is no different. So let that go, and now we're gonna work on the next step. It's important that you let them cool completely before you move them to something else. What I've done here is I have a 9 by 13 inch baking pan here. At the bottom, I put a damp paper towel, you see that? And a layer of aluminum foil. It kind of just helps these not slide around. And I place them all together so that they're kind of tightly compacted, and I even have a piece of aluminum foil that I rolled up into a rope because you don't want them to fall over. Falling over, they stay closed, they'll never open, forget it, you're not gonna get a Choco Taco. So now what I have in this bowl is the mixture for my just my chocolate hard shell, which is semi-sweet chocolate chips and coconut oil. And what you do is that you just brush the inside. Does not have to be perfect. You'll never see this. You'll never see the inside of this. You just brush it in there like so, and you place them back into their little secure place here. I'm just checking my phone to make sure I've got my timer correctly. I'm going to do this to all of them, and then I'm going to pop this into the freezer for about 10 minutes or so, and I'm going to take the ice cream out so that it can come to, well, not room temperature, but just soften a little bit. And I'll show you what everything looks like when it's ready for the next step. All right, so once these go into the freezer to set for that 15 minutes, right? You want to make sure that you bring your ice cream out to thaw just a little tiny bit. Now, yes, I am wearing a glove on this hand, clean glove, of course, brand new. And that's because the bag of ice cream that you need to, because you see what I did was I put my ice cream, vanilla ice cream, in a large resealable bag, snip the tip of it off, and this is how I've been filling my taco shells. It's the easiest way I have found to do this, but my hand gets super cold and it makes me it slows me down a little bit, and the ice cream starts melting a little faster than I like it to. So I just put a glove on. You don't have to. You could just use a kitchen towel and sort of wrap it around the bag of ice cream if you want to. This just makes it easy for me, and it makes it so that I can get the job done fast. All I'm going to do now is fill all these with my ice cream, and you can see how nice this is. I mean, it's really pretty simple. Look at that. You just want to make sure that your ice cream sort of thaws a little bit, because if it doesn't, then this is really difficult to do. I've seen some crazy methods of cutting the ice cream, and I'm not doing any of that. So this is the easiest way for me. I'm going to finish filling all these up, put them back into the freezer for a good hour or so. These need to be really solid frozen, and I will show you what they look like when they're there, and then we move on to the last step. All right, so you keep them in the freezer for a bit to freeze until they're solid. You make a little more chocolate hard shell, chopped up salted peanuts, and you just look at that. I mean, and once you put them back in the freezer to set completely, I mean, they will really be a thing of absolute beauty. They are so easy, absolutely worth the treat. If you want a Choco Taco and you don't live anywhere near a Wawa, you can run out and get one. These are really good, and I have to say, they're hard to beat. This version is really hard to beat, and you can see all I'm doing is kind of dipping them into the hard shell, which will harden into absolute perfection. So it's really easy to do. You just have to work really fast because you don't want the ice cream to start melting. Then you place them on a baking sheet, and you can put a couple on there as well. And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna give one of them a try, because I don't feel like putting them back into the freezer and then having you wait any longer, because that's not fair. But look at that, I'm almost done. And please make sure that you buy salted peanuts. It really makes the biggest difference. You just need it. You just absolutely need salted peanuts whenever you're working with something sweet, because you need that balance. Okay, last one. Work fast, 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 so that your ice cream doesn't melt all over the place. I'm gonna put them in the freezer. I'll go to the first one that I made. You see how it's already hardening up? See that? Yes, 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 making money moves. This is exciting stuff, okay? Happiness. Absolute happiness. Look, the hard shell is hardening already. Just go to laurainthekitchen.com. I will have everything ready for you. Make them, tag me, you'll love them. Thanks for watching.